Hey, what's up, friends? I am RanDee Camille, and this is Sports Society. On today's episode, we really diving into some women power. We making some things happen around here, and I have two friends with me that I feel like known forever. That I sit in that space. I always talk about basketball. Brings me my sisters. I have some other extended family within my basketball family, and I'm gonna also start, with the regular name, but we only gonna go by nickname around here. I got Asia Boyd and Kanisha Ward with me today. I'm so excited. But we're going with AB and Nuk because that's how we call each other, right? That's gonna be the real. And I want to just talk about today just some of your journey and how you navigated through sports and into life because I think it's such a different story for women as well because early, if you got a young boy, they are thinking you're gonna be the next Kobe or the next Barry Sanders or the next whatever. And how, with us girls, when we girls, they're just like, all right, have some fun. Okay, yeah, you got your little sport or whatever. But it really changes the trajectory of our life, really, in so many ways. So I'll start with you on the outside look, just kind of talk about your story. Wait, first of all, I guess I got to bring it back. I'm going to just only admit this once and early. First of all, we all went to the best high school in Detroit. Yes, that would be Detroit Renaissance High School. Renaissance. All of us are graduates. My babies over here, I say babies because they are younger than me and they are in the same era as my sister and brother. And, I always thought I was everybody's mama for a long time. And now that we adults, we sit like, oh, okay, I guess we all the same adults. We all went to Renaissance, but they did something I could not accomplish. They won championships. So also talk about your championships that you won and then kind of going into college, but I'll start with you.
Man, age and you in your basketball history grows. Your life grows. It's a long list, so I'm gonna try to condense it the best I can.
Yes.
Been blessed to be a part of a family that really was all about girls and women's basketball anyway. So my sister played, my mama coached, so I stayed in the gym. Probably was dribbling by like 3.
Easy.
That under the that type of shot by 4 at U of M Dearborn. So. But I was blessed to be able to be a part of the WNBA and be a ball girl with the shot because I got a chance to see the professionalism of it as a kid from like 8 years old to 18.
And they were winning championships
nice.
then. Yeah,
I was there when they went from worst to first, to had a palace empty, you know what I'm saying, to now the very next year it's packed. So that experience there really changed my whole mindset when it came to playing basketball and basketball afterlife. And so my mom used to say, you can't play basketball forever. And I'm thinking, how can I be a part of this game
forever?
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I can't play. I'm watching, every year Cheryl getting old, every year Lisa getting old, and, even players on our team. So I started hanging around the medical staff. Ironically, it just so happened that I was in the locker room watching the athletic trainer tape ankles and stuff like that. And it really was the relationship she had with Tweety Nolan and Swin Cash, our top players, franchise players. Yo, Lord, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
They was
that's
was
wait
cool.
a minute.
Yeah.
I was doing things as an athletic trainer point of view at 10. I'm making ice bags. I'm putting uniforms up and stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, I think whatever she doing, that's what I want to do.
Right.
So with seeing that aspect of the professionalism of athletic training to seeing them still hoop, it carried over to high school. We won a state championship my senior year, but the shot was on their way, if they hadn't won already, on their way to their second championship, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And so I already knew what it meant to be in that playoff position and keep winning despite the rest, despite everything. So AAU, high school, winning state championship, got a full ride to Wright State, and that recruiting is fun. It's fun until you tell a coach that you want to be this and you knew this since 8 years old, and they're like, no, you might as well find a new career.
Right.
You might as well find a new school, and that's what that said to me. So I went to, I ain't going to drop that college name because that's bold on them. But I went to Wright State, and my coach opened me with open arms. It just so happened God put me in the right space because the director of the athletic training program is a minority. He was like, oh, yeah, I got your back.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Even though you hoop during the winter, and that's our most intense, really, athletic training schedule, we going to proctor your exams because, of course, there's an athletic trainer traveling with us, so and they are part of the staff. So I was blessed to have that opportunity, and decided not to really fulfill like a professional type of job, but to finish my career. So by the time I went to, you know, senior year in college, went on to get my athletic training degree and first job, I went right back to our high school, being an athletic trainer there. And it's landed me in different positions, in different arenas, and different people, you know what I'm saying, that I'm absolutely blessed for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, AB, just tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, you know, to piggyback off of Nuk, I really thought I was gonna play forever.
Yeah.
Like I grew up playing in the city of Detroit, playing outside, playing with guys. Lived around the corner from you guys. The reason I landed at Renaissance was because of these two. So, you know, a lot of my dad was real big on lineage, and he was like, yo, you know, it's some girls, like, you got to see, if you want to play basketball, it's girls that really play. And I'm like, all right, you know, let's go see. So he would take me to y'all games, and y'all probably even, I used to be in the gym watching y'all play, watching these championships, and I'm just like, oh, I think I could do this. By the time it started clicking and I was paying attention, I don't know what year this was, maybe like 07, 08, so like 7th grade, 8th grade, for me, it got real serious. And I'm like, all right, this is what I want to do. And my dad was like, all right, well, you got to go to the best high school. Boom. Went to Renaissance. Thankfully, we won 3 city championships in a row. I played under Diane Jones, and she had a plan, and we stuck with that. So thank you for that. Yeah, setting the precedents. And so
Because I was talking all the trash. You would have thought I was on the team.
Yeah.
Every time y'all was winning, I
As
was
you
like,
should've.
because my girls in Renaissance, and we had this going. Everybody be like, RanDee, why you come? Like, I don't care. Like, y'all talking, because you talking about 07.
yeah, y'all was.
I ain't going to tell you, I was out of college.
Yeah.
07, okay. And I'm like,
Yes,
ooh.
07.
So, I mean, but I remember coming back and playing with y'all and doing stuff, and it just excited me so much.
Got me so hyped.
Yes, they can play. Okay, so we got the
So boom,
championships.
I got my championships. I was highly recruited out of Renaissance, went to the University of Kansas, played there for 4 years. And then after Kansas is really where I started to figure out, like, okay, you know, this might be like, for women's basketball, sometimes college is the last stop.
Yeah.
And still to this day, I mean, we're just now moving into a place where women are like, no, I'm playing pro. And it's like, okay, you know, that's your plan, fine.
It's still tight.
But exactly. But prior to that, it was like, no, this is the championship. So, you know, after making it and what you think of making it, I'm like, I don't know if I, you know, want to go further. And I think the changing point for me, I'm a senior year, I broke my foot in the Big 12 championships, and I was like, oh my God, I might not play forever. And I started to generate thoughts of, okay, what can I do after basketball? Now that kind of went away. I think an agent reached out to me, and I ended up playing pro 4 years. But circling back to that, I hurt my foot again in practice. So I broke my foot in Slovakia, which I loved Slovakia. That was like a great place, but the staff, the attention to medicine, I'm used to like coming from Kansas where we would get service right after. If I twist my ankle, I'm going to get service the next day. And so playing overseas where the hospital is an hour away and I, you know, MRIs maybe 2 weeks out, I started to think like, okay, it's got to be a lane or something that I could do to kind of speed this up for myself. So coming back into the States, I was like, I really started hitting hard on recovery. And not only recovery, like, oh, just do this and try this, but I'm like, no, I want to go to the kids, right? I want to go to where I found my passion. I want to bring something back to them. And so that's kind of what led me into mobile recovery, AB Level Up Sports, what I do now. But I did want to hit like DPS, all of my high school girls, and just try to bring them in like, hey, recovery is something that you need for your body. Because I didn't understand that, and I didn't know what that looked like. But after I broke my foot twice, I was like, I got it. I know what recovery is.
The first time, I say throughout my playing career, I was fortunate. I never had no major injuries, right? You know, you get dislocated finger, I sprained my ankle. You know, nothing. I never had anything where I had to have surgery or sit out for a long time, nothing like that. Even in my pro career, except for one time, my first year, I tore a ligament in my calf, and it was crazy because all I did was drive to the basket. You would have thought somebody shot me in my leg. I was holding on to the girl that was defending me, and I remember that team, we didn't fly, and we had an 8-hour bus ride home. It was
excruciating. I already
and you
know.
when we coming from college, we flew everywhere. Like you said, they'll keep you in the state and get you treatment.
Right
and
there.
Fly you home later, whatever is the case. And when I got back, they were like, yeah, you can't. It was close to us going home too, end of season. And you can't go home. You might get blood clots. We don't know. They just had no knowledge. So now I'm like, I'm over here stuck in Spain. And I shouldn't say stuck because I wasn't in hell.
Yeah.
But it was just like, that was the first time I started paying attention to what is the maintenance and upkeep of my body, because in college, they did it for us, right? You just walk in the training room, got hooked up, boom, 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 boom. You had your strength and conditioning coach that made sure you were straight. But now it's a little different overseas, and that's when I started coming home, like, okay, who can I work out that can get my body to stay strong and want to do this different stuff? And interesting enough, talking about ties and stories, the next major injury I had, I was actually playing with Nuk. We were at LA Fitness. This is after I retired. And we playing, hooping, winning, and I just fall wrong. I got fouled but barely touched. And I was hurt. And look, she went right in the mode. She goes, yeah, sis, you really hurt. And I said, huh? And so she like, yeah. She said, what, you want me to drive you home? Me being the crazy tough person I am, because I hurt my right knee. I said, no, I'll drive home. Drove home, cried the whole way, sat in the driveway, had to call somebody to come get me, like, hey, I'm in the car. And they told me I had torn my MCL and PCL at the same time. And then it was crazy. So to have that full, and she was like, yeah, no, something ain't right. I was like, I'm fine. She was like,
A little lax there.
Yeah, don't do nothing else. And even with your recovery, as soon as I knew, I called you like, hey, like, let's go. Yep. And even from our history, Asia's like, no, you don't have to pay me. I said, no, you got a service.
Yeah, I said,
I'm giving you money, and even just tied into that, like, people can't always expect, like, people to just do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, even my hoodies and stuff I get them from Nuk. She make them from me, like, no, here go your money. We gonna make this happen. So tying it in, and definitely now, the older I get, that's all it is for me. It's just recovery and taking care of your body and what's necessary for maintenance to not be overweight and not be hurting when I roll out the bed. So that's important.
That's important.
It's important for people to hear that. Well, thinking about, because we all know, just talking about even playing pro, whatever's the case, it's an end to the playing part. And y'all still play right now, because y'all couldn't pay me to get on the court, because my body would be like the worst the next day. Yes, but thinking about that, and now you both are working with youth, you both are positioning yourself to bring up the next generation, just like we had the people that had our back. Like, what does that mean to you? Like, what does that look like in your thought process of helping the next generation?
Okay, I go. I mean, honestly, I think everything, especially what I'm trying to do, what AB trying to do, is already in the works. You know what I'm saying? It's really just getting the support. For instance, I was at the Renaissance Mumford game, and I'm just enjoying the game, watching the game, and of course the Phoenix go down, and there's a certain thin line between, when you got a coach, I respect D Woods. I can tell when he in his zone, and he's one of those coaches that you gotta like get permission, so to speak. So I didn't want to be out of place, but then again, I didn't want him to see me as like not of any help.
Right.
So of course I asked for permission, and being able to provide my athletic training services to a current Phoenix player was like full circle for me.
Absolutely.
And so it was like, and I'm talking, the mama came down. I didn't even know the principal was over there watching.
Right.
And so it's just like, it looks like that for me.
Yes.
So if I can be that point of, recovery, athletic training for DPS, I would love to. I didn't have that for real. I mean, Janelle Harris went down our junior year, and then we ended up getting a volunteer athletic trainer, Rose Snyder, the bomb.
Love Rose. Yes.
I love
Rose.
I was like, when you retire?
Yeah, man, Rose.
I'm done.
Listen, and I know about recovery. I know about injury prevention. I had a high ankle sprain, and I'm like, Rose, I am not sitting out. This is even after college and high. I'm not sitting out.
Right.
Got me together. It was like 3 times a day type of thing. But anyway, I didn't have that, from
touch point, because I just feel like Rose needs this bit of acknowledgement. Rose is actually in a wheelchair due to, and I don't know what her condition is, but it doesn't allow her muscles to keep her up and standing all the time. But she did play sports when she was coming up, and played basketball, athletic trainer, and this hit her later in life. And by far, the best
Oh my goodness.
Trainer, physical therapist out here. Every injury I had, every time I was down, when I went down to Henry Ford, they like, who you want to see? I said Rose.
Rose.
And Rose got to the point, she was like, stop calling the front desk.
Yes.
Just call me.
I used to do the
and I'll
same
put you
thing.
on the list. I said, okay. But I just think
love it.
that's a person that deserves her flowers to know that she didn't even have to come out of her chair to get you right. It was
Oh,
like,
no.
do this, do that,
Yes.
set this up, do this,
I mean,
because her brain superseded
phenomenal.
anything
Absolutely.
that her body could do.
I think I credit her all the time for us being in the shape and condition we was for that state championship run. I mean, we were going up against some big names, and we're faster. We got more stamina. Our endurance was out this world, and we were toned, cut. You know, you see us coming through. It's like, and all we did was push-ups, body weight.
Yes.
I
That's true.
really didn't hit
That's
the gym.
true.
I mean, hit the weight room. It was just so. I forgot what I was talking about with Rose.
My
We
first-
was just talking about the process of.
But piggybacking off of you guys.
Okay, yeah, Rose.
Yeah.
Being able to, I know Rose was that for us, but from freshman, third grade up until that senior year in high school, I never had no AB.
That's
I
true.
didn't have LJ. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have nobody, like, no elite training or none of that. It was really our coaches and our parents. So.
And it's unfortunate in Detroit public school system. It's just something that privilege we don't have because we can't afford it. It's not as if they just don't want to give it to schools.
Yep.
And for the times that they do have those athletic trainings, most of the time they're volunteering their time. No different than you said in that game. You're just there.
You're just there.
I mean, you could have sat in the stands and been like, well, they ain't paying me to do that. So I'm here versus like, no, I'm gonna go help this girl out and make sure she's straight.
So that's what it looked like for me. You know, just being available for that. You know, money is everything or whatever. It pay the bills and things like that. But the parents specifically told me that I eased their mind of anything that was like career ending, season ending, just by me being there and thoroughly assessing like that. For sure. If I would have had that when I tweaked my groin, I'm thinking my leg falling off.
Yeah.
Right, like you
Mama,
gotta have
I don't
know. It's over. It's like go.
You know, for Rose to just say, you know, you strained your groin. That's it.
Right.
That's true.
Like you okay.
Yeah.
And so thinking about you, AB, and how you got into the recovery process. I mean, you talked about your foot injury, but you literally have a mobile service where you are going out. You got the guns, you had the legs hooked up. And, you know, how did you get into that to be able to provide that service?
So the big, and you know, for me, just piggybacking off of what you guys said, Rose was kind of my first introduction to what plyometrics or taking care of my body looked like. Now, on a high school level, it's not as intense, I would say. And, you know, I went from high school, Premier High School, and even in Detroit, being in a Premier High School, we still had volunteers. It wasn't until I got to Kansas and it was like, ice bath after every workout, warm bath after, and I understood the importance of how to take care of, okay? And then like you said, as a professional athlete, you're doing it on your own. So when I'm thinking back about the places I come from and how many professional athletes actually come from Detroit and actually come from Michigan, and then how many come back, it was like slim to none. Zero. We talk about 1% maybe.
Men and women.
Yeah, 1.5% maybe. So my biggest thing was, what can I offer them? What can I do that's like, okay, I'm still gonna gain the attention and kind of reel them in, which for me was recovery. I just wanted to give the kids something to hold on to, and then also kind of come back and just be a mentor to a lot of the kids around.
How were you guys able to adjust and recover to that? Now I'm no longer at this Division I school where my meals are paid, my bills are paid, and everything I need to make sure my body is taken care of is right in front of me. What was that adjustment process, and how were you able to?
You know, honestly, and I'm happy you brought that up because that was probably the most non-real moment of my life, where you're in it and you believe and you think it's real, but when you have someone picking up your food, picking up your plate, oh, do you need something else to drink? It's just
Washing
like,
your clothes,
for me, it was
everything.
just like, oh my, I came from Detroit where it's like I barely had clothes. I went to school I drove the Greyhound bus, went to school, put myself in a book bag. That was it. So for me, it was just like, wow, I'm living lux. This is great. And then when I went pro, it was poof, all gone away. And so you kind of, for me, I took the mentality from college. I took the, you know, we had this thing where we talked about mental toughness, just being strong. That mentality I took, and I had to create it for myself. So it is challenging, but then starting up, level up myself and wanting to bring, again, something to the community that was top tier, learning the body and things like that, that's important.
Yeah. Well, I never had like the pro experience like y'all two have, but I remember going to a combine in Germany, and I am expecting, this is a camp pretty much.
Right.
Like, I'm expecting some type of service. I think the only thing that really was available to us was ice. So again, not really knowing where my career was with athletic training. I do recall some of my teammates from AAU, different semi-pro and pro teams. Like, yeah, I tweaked my ankle. What should I do?
Right.
I'm like, go to the trainer. And it's
Exactly.
like,
That's
I ain't.
what's your other option? Go straight to the trainer.
And so me just thinking, you're in this position, you're in this league, you with this team, you got it. And so I can tell just from experience with some of the players that was on my team that went on and went overseas. They'll call me like, something just not right with my body. Luckily, those players now can, go and talk to the athletic trainer. Not the same doctrine as me, so I'm looking more at, the musculature of whatever the injury is, where they're looking at, spring or sprain. We looking at two different parts now, so I can give them that mindset and that point of view when it comes to their body. But I think that's what I picked up a lot is that we as athletes, rather you like the weekend warrior or you are a pro overseas, you got to take that extra just like you would with your diet or your sleeping habits to get your body
Gotta
together.
take it serious.
Like,
I agree.
Like invest in that power band so you can do some stretching. Start looking at not just static stretching where you just holding it for a 30 count, but do some dynamic stuff. You feel me? Start some agility so that you're not tweaking your ankle so much. You in and out the ladder, so your body, proprioception, it knows like, oh, I'm about to fall, let me catch myself. That's how we prevent a lot of ACLs is working on that aspect, not just weight training. Like, yeah, you in the gym and lift, but that ain't stop your rotator.
And to piggyback off of that, the tools that are out there, the Normatec, the Theragun, all of these things help break down that buildup that you get naturally from being athletes, right? We work out 6 days a week. Right. We need something to bring us back a lot faster than just a cold bath, right? We've evolved from that, I think.
And even that point, I think that's a big point that really needs to stand out about the difference between going to see a regular doctor and an athletic doctor. I encourage people all the time, even if you're not an athlete. I'll use an example. My mom's hip was killing her. It was just, she was done, and you couldn't tell her she needed a hip replacement, right? And she went to the doctor, and all the regular doctor wanted to do was just give her medicine. Give her a shot. Maybe you need another hip. I don't know. I said, Mom, go to the sports doctor because they look at the body different. They view the body different. And when she went, literally it was just a muscle strain. And he said, go to rehab for about 6 weeks. You won't have no more problems. And that's exactly how it laid out. And when people ask me questions and say, that's the first thing I say, go see a sports doctor. Go see them first because they just look at the body totally different. All right, talking women in sports. Obviously, we're all women in sports, but we know that men have the opportunity in various sports, from baseball, soccer. Not sure about football. I don't think they really have that option coming out of high school. Basketball, they can go into their pro sport at 18. Even overseas, the women have the opportunity to kind of become a pro at 17, 18, where we don't have that option. I mean, obviously the WNBA is limited, so the next step out of high school is college. Thinking about that in that aspect, was college your focus at the very beginning? And what points during college did you have some other realization of, wow, this is different?
So for me, like, recruiting was very, very, very heavy, and I still don't think at that time, 17, you're a 16, 15, 17-year-old person from Detroit, you're not thinking like it's this whole world out there for me. You don't know what that looks like. Recruiting was heavy, and so when you narrow down, like I said before, the college is like championship time for a lot of women in sports, or the pros rather, because the numbers at the WNBA, they don't take us all in. There's not enough room. No. So if you perform high at college, you pretty much got all the notoriety of an NBA player, so to speak. I just think for women, like, my turning point, and not even turning point, but maybe low point for me was like freshman year, because I'm coming out of high school highly, highly, highly recruited. #2 in the state, 9th in the country, 36 overall. So for me, it was like I could pick anywhere to go. So I'm thinking when I get there, you roll out the red carpet. But there's also 12 and 13 other girls that have done the same thing from Las Vegas, Texas, 2 and 3 from Texas,
I'm in the Big
Florida,
right now, so this is
big
a
body,
big deal.
So for me, it was like, okay, I got to get my stuff together. I thought I was good, but just getting there and understanding the next level, the next work ethic level, so to speak, that was huge.
And that's kind of some of and we won't get into this conversation because it doesn't really apply to us in the sense when I hear people say that they reclass their kids and they holding them back. and what do I think? And once you add that, what do I think? I always say, well, when you get to college, it don't matter. They still gonna be 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's not gonna change. So holding your kid back a year is not gonna really make them stronger, faster, better, because when they get to college, they're still stronger, faster, better, and then they already been doing it in the college system, which is much different from the high school system. And my first kind of reality to that was when I transferred. When I came into UAD, I knew I was gonna be starting. I knew I could outwork them girls. It was gonna be nothing, right? And then when I transferred to UNLV, I walked into a team where I was seen as a threat. When I went to UAD, I was an addition. So now when I walked into this team and these girls, same thing, are from everywhere across the country, and they like, why the hell you bring her ass in here? Yep. Like, we got post players, we straight. I can literally remember them going to talk as post players to the coach about why other people gonna play over me, and my coach was like, yeah, but she better. So, like, my coach she didn't give two fucks about what people thought. But now I'm spending a year that I can't even play. I know I can't never step on the court at all, that I'm better than y'all. And then it drove into me because I was gonna outrun y'all, I was gonna outwork you and everything. So when it came time, we was gonna go at it. And then I had to always be on the B team because I wasn't gonna never play in the game. So why would they put me on the A team? For what? Oh, we will win though. They be hot. Y'all gotta go run. Yeah, have fun with that. I don't know what else to say. But that was the first time when I really had that, okay, they don't care who I am. All that high school stuff in the previous school, that don't matter no more. And had to take that into the pros, because every time you went to a new team, it was like, well, why are you bringing them? Yep. Okay, well, what they gonna bring? And that just kind of set a different precedent. And I really try to tell those stories to kids to help them understand that even though I was a successful transfer, sometimes you just gotta stick it out, and you gotta put in the work. And then when you put in the work, the rest will follow.
Yeah, well, for me, I mean, I didn't go high major like Big 12 or nothing like that, mid-major, but it was I'm always undersized. Undersized. I was always underlooked and things like that. And so I remember, I think my first game I started, it was against Indiana or something, and I'm just doing whatever coach tells me to do.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
Whatever
like,
you
let's
tell me
let's do it.
Right. And so, like, kind of opposite of y'all. So
yeah.
I didn't get the red. I was better than the freshman class coming in as far as like guard wise and things like that. I was coming off a state championship, so I think my coach was really recruiting me and advertising me around campus and amongst the team that she's a winner.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it was like that mentality that kept me winning. So I was the underdog that ended up. And it wasn't no like freshman year I'm there. Like every year I had to just keep proving myself because I do win. I mean, you tell me to get these amount of steals, I do that. You know, everybody else just got to do their own part. You feel me? And so the breaking point for me came when athletic training kind of took over, you know, with clinical rotations. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't hoop.
Yeah.
And I took one anatomy class. It was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm
I had
not
biology and I was done.
Dog, I'm talking cadavers.
I was done after biology.
I'm like, I'm not getting up for this final. Matter of fact, I did not. It just so happened I had good people by me, but it was that combo that was just like, I'm done. I don't know if I can do it, you know, because everybody go home for Memorial Day. I'm at a soccer tournament from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. I got to get my clinical hours. And then, so that meant that I'm there in school all summer. So when y'all come back fully
refreshed,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm ready to
go to practice.
You
know what I'm saying? So just a different, you know, aspect, because it did get tough. You know, I didn't know really until almost junior, senior year how to balance the two.
Right. But this is so important, and this is a lot of purpose that I have in this podcast too, because when you are in your sport, there aren't many people that's trying to prepare you for the next steps in life, right? They're not really seriously preparing you for life after. And in this particular situation, you already had your mindset, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be in sports training, I'm going to have this going. I'm willing to bet it's probably another 80% of athletes across all of the sports that have no clue. Yeah, you got a major. Yeah, you're going to graduate with something, but how do you know like what you really want to do and then be able to stick to it. And that's in part of the work too, to say, okay, but I know this is what I want to do when I'm done. So I may have to suffer in this moment, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And I do feel that that's some of the mental capacity that happens to a lot of athletes and why they lose it after sports, because what the hell do I do now? Like, how do I function? And now nobody is giving me nothing. Like, my joke always run to everybody. My first real job, I got paid. I said, no way, this is my check. If this is what this gonna be, then I'm done. Like, I'm about to get back on somebody's team, or, you know, whatever is the case. Or the first mindset is, well, I'm gonna coach, or I'm gonna commentate sports. Well, that doesn't navigate well for everybody. So I do want you to speak to just what was, because you talked about how it was working with the pro teams that kind of built you there, but were there other people around as far as like mentors and people that you can associate yourself with that's it to keep you on that balance and be able to have it?
I mean, Laura Raymond's, I did an internship in New York with the New York Liberty in like 2013 or something like that. And I mean, Laura Raymond is a white woman. They're just, you know, so she got pulled. So I think that if she would have never saw what I could do or just trying to catapult me to the career, she would have never pulled those strings with Bill Laimbeer, New York Liberty, and things like that. Mm-hmm. So she from Detroit. She keep it real. That's right. The best I can say. She keep it real. So when we got different personalities on the team, and she's telling me to tell, you know, our franchise player, she's telling me to tell the Olympic gold medalist, the 3-time WNBA champion, to do their exercise, and they giving me backlash. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, at that time, we needed a dub. Mm-hmm. It ain't no, let's try to, no, we need this dub. And so we are athletes. You know, when you need to win, you don't want to talk to nobody. Mm-mm. You know, the vibe is, you can feel it. You can feel it. And so I got cussed out. I can't even, you know what I'm saying? It was like, they called me little bit, I know, because we had it written on the board. Right. And I went to Laura like, I can't do this, I'm not about to. And she was like, it don't matter. She gave me the mentality of, we run this. They on the court doing what they do, but we run this. And they want to get paid to do what they do, they need to listen to us. Right. And so I can call Laura and email Laura whenever. And I didn't overly do it. I figured things out myself. She gave me some holistic things to do for my athletes. We dehydrated vegetables to make our own anti-inflammatory regimens. You know what I'm saying? So instead of cold water bath, because not everybody can tolerate it, right? And we paying you big money to not sit up here and cry. So let's figure out. So we came up with that. So I used everything, and then she just, that's one of the key people that kept me going. I mean, besides at Wright State, Tony Ortiz, he was the athletic trainer, clinical director, like, just like telling me, yeah, you black, in this male-dominant, white-dominant profession, you gonna make it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see too that you get it. So I felt like, even though God blessed me in the path that he did, if I needed some help, I can call Tony and be like, yo, I need some place to go. Yeah. I mean, besides my family, all of y'all keep pushing me. You know, we post on social media and things like that, and I hear those encouraging words. I don't never want to let my city down. I don't never want to let my sisters down. Never. So, yeah, Laura Raymond's for sure. Laura Raymond's and Rose. So when I got hurt in high school, I didn't know what was going on, went to Rose. When I got hurt after college, didn't know what to do, go to Rose. So when I didn't go overseas for the little camps or whatever, I did my internship with Henry Ford and Rose, and learned so much, partly because I was I helped her a lot, getting her in and out the car. She trusted me and stuff like that, but I mean, she was telling me things that wasn't in the book. Yeah. Wasn't even best way to learn. Especially the mental aspect of an athlete. It was easier for me to understand because I'm an athlete. Correct. So when she talking to me about it and then being her position, I'm like, I can do this. You know, Rose believe in me like this, I can do this. Yeah. I really don't suck. I know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
So what about you?
I think, you know, for me, it was just, the environment was, for me growing up and coming out of Detroit was so rough, I just didn't want to come back. And that's what pushed me. I love my mentors, and I love the people that I could reach out to at school, but it was constant, like, you don't want to go back home. So much stuff going on for me. I lived in a lot of houses, so it just, don't want to go back home, stay on your craft. And so that's kind of where, mentor-wise, I love to reach back to like my coaches that understand the athletes from the city, because it's a different type of athlete.
Yeah.
It's a different type of athlete. It's so many other factors that go into. It's not just your basketball ability. You gotta, it's gunshots at nighttime. It's not wanting to go out past a certain time. If you in the gym, you gotta clutch all your stuff when you're going out. Don't leave your bag here. It's just so many things to worry about. I think going away to school and being at it, that helped me more than maybe having someone to talk to every day.
And I think that's powerful, and I instill that in a lot of athletes. I'm like, don't be scared to leave. And also, don't be scared to say, I can't come back right now, because you will come back and people will be in the exact same places and spaces. I left home, and our stories aren't the same, but I left home between overseas and college for upwards of 10, 12 years. And when I came back, some people were in the same places and same spaces and not growing. I thank God for my tight-knit of friends who were. But you can easily find yourself wrapped up, and that's why we see people in jail. You see them catching gun charges. You trying to be true to your hood or whatever is the case. Sometimes you got to say no. It's not what I'm doing. Sorry, I got this popping for me. Something else going on. I'll holler at y'all later. It's not the case. Well, in saying all of that and wrapping up, sports society, all we ask is trust. And so I want to get from each of you what you can give as a word of advice to the people, that they can trust you, that if they hold on to this in life and moving through, whether it's in sports or not, they can succeed and carry on.
I like to live. Been living by this for a long time. But if you be the best version of you every day, if you could try to be the best version of you every day, whatever that looks like. For you, that may look like waking up, putting on clothes, a nice pair of clothes, going out and taking out somebody's trash. That might be the best version of you. Or getting up and working hard, going to the gym 8 hours a day. That's the best version of you. But if you present that every day, then you creep up on greatness. And I think I always talk to my kids about that.
Yeah, I think for me, because I haven't really thought about it in that sense, but you trust me with, is that if you have a true passion, and that come with a little bit of, digging deep to figure it out, because whatever you do, my mama tell me, you can be the best whatever you want to be.
Yes.
If that's the best, on the street, you can be that best one. You feel me?
So just like Mama Nuk said,
I get it honest. So if your passion is really your passion, you can bet my bottom dollar, the last I have, that it's gonna come to full fruition. It's gonna come right on your lap. It's gonna come right when God needs you to have it if it's truly your passion. So trust the process. It may look ugly. It may feel like you want to quit. It may feel like nobody there for you. You gotta trust if that's your passion. If that's your passion.
Keep
so
it
you
up.
Can't tell me, I want to go and box with LJ, and that really ain't. I ain't really into, you feel me? Like I know, you know what I'm saying? I heard the last podcast.
almost killed me. Oh my God.
They're serious.
That's
No, they're
serious.
serious
Almost
over
died.
there.
So I could
That
talk
is a
about
whole nother
it.
issue
over there.
But if that ain't my passion, and if that ain't my goal to do, I ain't gonna be the best at it.
Yeah.
Right.
So whatever it is, trust the process.
Well, thank you so much, friends. I love having you and the support that we've all had for each other. It's crazy to think that it supersedes like over 20 years at this point. So apparently I'm an adult or whatever. So that's my, yes.
I didn't know you was at our games for real.
Always.
Listen,
My
the
dad would always
only
bring me.
the only reason I went to Renaissance because of RanDee. We had came
That's
to
so- me too.
old
Part of it.
Renaissance.
Yeah.
Old Renaissance. I remember was it Kennedy? Kennedy
Coach
coaching you?
Kennedy.
I was at the last bleacher right before you go exit that hallway, before you get, you don't know old Renaissance.
no.
Before you
Our lights was yellow. They wasn't white. We had
I
wood
think it was the
bleachers.
boys'
We
locker
had the
room.
nice-
New school.
Yeah, y'all had the new school.
Yeah.
Nook was with me. We had the.
I had both
Yeah,
of
you had both
worlds.
worlds. Right?
And I was sitting right there, and I think he pulled you out of a workout. You was sweaty or whatever, and you was like, "Yeah, just come here. It's the best decision you can make." And my mama was so like, "Yep, RanDee said it. We
I
going
got a
here."
RanDee story. No, I
Yeah.
got to tell my RanDee story.
Okay.
I talk about growing up and not having a lot, right? I reached out to so many people when I was playing AAU to get money to go to my AAU games. I saw you one time in the gym. I don't know if you remember this, but I was selling raffle tickets. I probably was like 15. Yeah, 16. I said, RanDee, I want to, I'm trying to do this. threw me some money right away. I don't even know if I even finished what I was asking.
Easy.
Reached in your little thing, passed
I
me
think
some
I'm
money.
getting old
You
because
didn't
I'm
even
like,
get the raffle
Yeah.
tickets. I never even gave her the
Yeah.
raffle tickets. But when you talk about circling back and being that person, I am that person.
Yeah.
I try to be for all of my kids.
Yeah.
But those moments, I don't forget that. I talk to people all the time.
I really cherish giving back. Is I don't know why I'm crying, but I'm like, it really just like, you know, means the world to me. And that's why I just love to be able to like see y'all in college and go from there. And like I said, even though I didn't win any championships at Renaissance, I was so geeked when y'all won because I was so over King winning. And I'm like, finally is with my girls. And even now the girls are good at Renaissance. Like they got a nice team. And we talking about, I graduated 22 years ago. To be able to sit in that space, like this is what it's about. And that's why we have to keep in that space with these girls and with everybody, because it's the power in us coming together. And that's just what it's all about. Now that y'all got me, I'm supposed to be tough. Yeah. I'm rough out here. It's a sports society. All we ask is trust. Till next time.
I'm like, I was holding that in. I'm like, damn, can I tell this story? I don't know if it's the right time.
I didn't even know. Oh my God, it's just because y'all was really my girl.
I feel like he took you out of a workout. My mom
been friends for 20
What had happened was I was supposed to go to Country Day. I wanted to go to Country
Me
Day
too.
all my life.
Me too.
Everybody.
Me too. I was supposed to go there too.
And so what had happened was Frank Orlando
Yep.
took my mama to come to the open house.
Yep.
We went right up to Renaissance, and I guess she must have talked to Kennedy because I don't recall. I got a good memory. My stories be detailed.
Nah.
I don't remember. I just remember sitting in that bleacher. You came over. Was like, you think about going here? I was like, I guess. And he was like, yeah, you need to come here. Like,
That's so random.
That's so random. She ain't got no script, no nothing.
Right. Why would you come here? Like, what's up?
And that was that. That was that. Then I'm like, RanDee, y'all sister.
Right. Like, it's going
I
the
didn't
whole
get
thing.
yeah, but
Did you do the summer at Renaissance? Did you do summer?
I think so.
After our freshman year?
because we had to read that book. Fahrenheit 451.
That's
Graduated,
it.
You graduated.
No, I
That's
flagged
what
off,
I'm
but I
saying.
should have been way better.
Please, I need this for my little.
I'm gonna send y'all
Shink
got
the
like
dink.
videos and pictures.
Okay.
To y'all separately.
I'm so short.
3, 2, 1. Boom, boom. We still love you though.
Yes.
We love our point guards.
We need that.
Yeah.